Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite tortoise species, maybe even my favorite tortoise species that there is, and that is no other than the red-footed tortoise. I'm going to be giving you guys an introduction to this tortoise, and we're going to start a series on this tortoise, basically talking about this tortoise and, everything you need to know, which covers diet, enclosure, fun facts, and it's going to be really fun. So, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So, to start off, let's talk about the characteristics of a red-footed tortoise, which is what they are widely known for. Your typical red-footed tortoise is going to have, of course, a lot of red and orange and yellow dots on them. You're really only going to find the yellow on the top of their head, as I'm showing in the footage in the video right now. And on their both front and hind legs, they will have a bunch of reddish, orangish colored scales, which is really beautiful. Your red-footed tortoise is going to get to around 10 to 16 inches. Now, this can change because their typical size that they're going to get to is 12 to 14 inches. While some smaller types of red-footed tortoises, like the cherry-head tortoise, will only get from 9 to 12 inches, which is not the biggest tortoise, which makes it pretty okay. I'm not going to say easy, but okay to keep indoors, because they do take up a lot of space as adults, but it's not your biggest tortoise, it's not your smallest tortoise. I would put the red-footed tortoise right in the middle. Red-footed tortoises are widely known for their personalities. They will greet you, they love people, especially my red-footed tortoise, Sheldon. I brought him to see many people. He loves people, okay? These tortoises have great personalities, some of the best personalities you'll actually find in a tortoise, in my opinion. They respond to feeding time in such amazing ways. They love shell rubs, as I'm showing in the footage right here. It is just amazing to have a red-footed tortoise as a companion, because they're so interesting, just watching them, because they're so curious, and that's what makes them a wonderful species to keep. In the wild, red-footed tortoises will really get only up to around 50 years of age, but in captivity, they can live much longer. Now, sadly, because of improper care, they get bad health problems such as shell deformity and a lot of internal problems because people take their diet out of context. We'll get into that in another video. And you can allow them to live a lot longer. They can get up to 90, even 100 years of age in captivity, and they have before. It's just, it really depends on how good of care you provide them in captivity, and it really depends on how they're started off whenever they hatch out of the egg. That all depends, really, on how they're really going to live throughout the rest of their life. Now, you may be wondering, where does a red-footed tortoise live, okay? You'll typically find a red-footed tortoise all throughout South America, from Panama down to Argentina, and on some of the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Barbados. And now I answer the big question, is a red-footed tortoise really a good pet? And my answer is they can be a good pet, okay? That's what I have as the answer. And that's not a direct answer, it's really just in the middle. The reason why I say that is because red-footed tortoises, in my opinion, are a great pet. They are not a beginner pet. They are not too hard of a pet. They are more, if you do your correct research, if you can provide a varied diet, if you can provide the space, if you can provide the humidity, it will work out. But if you do not provide those things, you can fail, and the tortoise can get sick, and the tortoise can get shell deformity, which is commonly found in red-footed tortoises. And that's why I say it can be a good pet, but you really have to put time, dedication, and a lot of work into keeping red-footed tortoises. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, their curiosity is big, and sometimes that is not a good thing. They are great escape artists. Mine has escaped its enclosure before. It is not fun. Okay? But they are an excellent companion. I also mentioned their personality. Their personality is great. I love them. They are my favorite tortoise species. So, if you happen to take up the challenge, then we'll see how you do. I hope you guys found this video educational, and if you did, consider subscribing to my channel where you can find a lot of other turtle and tortoise facts, educational videos, and ASMR videos. And don't forget to tune in to my weekly newsletter, because then you can see what we're going to be doing in the following weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.